All right, let me put the mic in. I forgot to do that. Oh man, where did I put it? Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome to VR Essentials. And I just realized I forgot to put the mic inside of the camera, so I'll be right back. Where is it? Where's my receiver? I can't find my receiver. Oh my god. All right, so today we are doing. All right, let me take down the volume. So today we're going to be doing some Formula 1 2023 VR using the Pimax Crystal, which is this one here. There we go. So this is the beautiful, the big beast Pimax Crystal. And let me just, oh, there it is. Okay, sound's going to cut in a minute, just a moment. All right. We should have good sound, good audio. Hello everybody. All right, the audio is much better. So hi everybody, welcome to VR Essentials. If you're not a new viewer or new subscriber, welcome to you. Do leave some comments below. Now it's 1 o'clock here in the morning in Singapore. I'll probably do it for 1 hour. We'll do some laps. We're going to go into F1 2023 VR. Just got a new machine, guys. So let me just show you, give you a little tour. There you go. So here it is. Here is the new PC. I literally received it last night, and the shop actually built it and everything. So we have the RTX4080 there, and it's the 14th gen i7 14,000 something K, sorry, I forget, 14,600 or 14,300, I can't remember exactly. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty happy with it. And so I upgraded for the first time in 4 years. And the irony of this is I managed to pay it by selling a whole bunch of Quest 3s. I think I sold about almost 10 Quest 3s. And also I got rid of my Secret Labs chair. So we're going to be using the Next Level Racing. Let me just show you. So we're going to be using the Next Level Racing stand, which is called the Stand 2.0, just FYI. And what I like about this stand is that at the bottom there, you see there's a cradle. So the cradle holds the actual wheels of the chair inside, which is cool. And so it doesn't move if you brake suddenly or you go out or something. So it really stays in there. So my Secret Labs chair was really uncomfortable, so I sold it. Took me 4 or 5 months to sell it, but never mind. And we're going to be using the Logitech TrueForce G923 wheel as well. So that will be the setup for today. And basically what I'm going to be doing is, so just give you another overview of the actual new PC that came. So it's pretty cool. Really happy with it. So yeah, so there's some NVMe and all this kind of stuff. I'm just moving the camera very slowly so that I don't give you guys any motion sickness or anything like that. Okay, there we go. So so what I'm going to be, so you can see there's the DPVR E4 4K and then the HP Reverb G2 just there. And I have to say that the G2 performs really well with this new computer. It's absolutely mind-boggling for F1 2023 VR. However, there is a big difference in the graphic quality because I've been using, for those who are used to the channel, I've been using the RTX4080 with the i7 9th gen, which is 4 years old from 2019. And all of you know that I've been able to run it pretty well. It's been pretty solid. In fact, I've been pretty happy. I didn't feel I needed, to upgrade, to be honest with you. I still don't feel I needed to upgrade. I think I could have waited another year or two, to be frank. But in terms of using this specific app, the differences are amazingly huge. There's no way I could use the RTX 2070 with the F1 2023 game, first of all. Not possible. So the fact that I did upgrade, I was able to actually purchase the game. Now you can purchase the game on Steam. I purchased it with my own money, not a sponsored video at all by F1 guys. I don't know anyone there, so, you know, or EA, excuse me. So I purchased the game on Steam. I did not purchase it on EA Store simply because EA are not renowned to be able to give refunds back very easily, apparently. So I prefer just to go with Steam, who have refunded me games before very easily. If you only play them a certain amount of time, it's very straightforward. So no issues there. And you don't need to open the EA client, FYI, when you're playing the F1 2023 VR game. Only Steam, SteamVR, that's it. So less latency, less lagging there, which I think is pretty useful, to be honest with you. The other thing that I really like about this game is that I don't need a mouse to recenter anything. Everything is done directly on the wheel. I don't need to recenter with my controller either. Maybe the screen that loads at the beginning, that's it. If your SteamVR is not, you know, loading straight in front of you. Excuse me. So that's really, you know, that's really it in terms of, you know, the game is very simple and you can just go in very straightforward. So I just want to say, welcome to everyone. Feel free to chat and say hi. Let me know what you know, what VR headset you have, guys, and if you have any questions about the Pimax or anything like that. Now, during the stream, just FYI, today's a test stream using my phone. So I'm going to be putting my phone on the tripod because I don't want to use OBS today. I don't want it to eat my frames. I want to show you exactly my settings, and I want to show you what it looks like natively with no OBS running in my computer. Now, I do have two computers now, of course, but I don't have all the bits and pieces to be able to stream with one computer, the camera, and then stream the game with the other computer. So that's too much investment for me. I'm just not going to do that. So let's do a test together today, and let me put the phone on the tripod, and then I'm going to show you everything that I do with you, turning on the Pimax, the software, and all this kind of stuff, and then you can see exactly what issues or problems I might have as well. Okay, so let me move the phone. I'm going to do it very easily, very softly, and of course, if there's any issues that you find you have on the phone, then you need to look away. I'll tell you when to look away, maybe, so that it's easier for you. So just give me a minute. I'm going to put the phone on the tripod. Okay, there we go. So you can look away now, guys. All right, you can come back. I'm going to change the camera to look at the other side. There we go. And then I'm going to up the camera a bit. There we go. All right. So it's not exactly the same lenses as my test earlier, but never mind, you should be able to see just fine doing this. So it's all good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch on the actual Pimax software. So I'm going to get rid of this window here. Sorry, you can see my back. There you go. Sorry about that, guys. So let me just get rid of all this stuff. There we go. I'm going to get rid of this as well. As you can see, brand new PC, nothing on my desktop. I wonder how long I can keep it like that for, though. My OBS I can close as well. There we go. And this, my taskbar manager, I can close that as well. So we're going to start off with the Pimax software first. Yes. So that's what I generally do. Generally, I will put my Pimax software. So I like to log in with my name because it will create less pop-ups coming. So I'm just going to put my name in. Sorry, guys. Just trying to hide my password. Okay, and then password. Okay, there we go. Let me move out of the way once more. And okay, so now the Pimax is not connected, as you can see. So what I do next is before I connect the Pimax, I want to connect my wheel. So I need to put the Pimax in the USB 3. There we go. I'm going to connect my wheel first because Pimax sometimes will start SteamVR first. Okay, I can take this off. And then the sound will come directly from the speaker. Okay, there we go. Let me test the wheel. Maybe it's not switched on. No, it's not switched on. Okay. All right, there we go. So the wheel is doing its thing. All right. So the wheel is working. All good. Let me close that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch on the Pimax. And I should see a light that comes up on my Pimax. There we go. Light's coming up. So it generally takes about a minute for it to go up. And I'll show you my settings in the Pimax Crystal also. All right, so the Pimax is up. And we have full battery, so that's all good. And let me switch on the Pimax so that the battery lasts longer. And let me go to my settings. I will show you my device settings. So eye tracking is on simply because I like to have my auto IPD. I don't like the IPD to do it manually, so I like to have it. We're going to be using 90 hertz, however, because 120 hertz, there's a little bit of, I can't get the best out of the game at 120 hertz because the game itself runs at around 60, at 120 hertz, it runs at about 65 frames per second. But at 90 hertz, it's able to go all the way to 90 hertz more often than when it's at 120 hertz. So I'm going to be running at 90 hertz for the Pimax software. So let me just zoom in so you can see. There you go. And yeah, and then we have backlights. I can turn that a bit, 86. So eye tracking is on, as I mentioned. Wearing location reminder, yes, that's on. So the wearing location reminder basically is if your Pimax is not put on properly, then basically what will happen is that it will tell you that it's not on properly and to recenter it properly on your head. Okay, so for games, we are not using render quality. It's completely at minimum because I find that with the Pimax Crystal, if you were to turn it on balance or maximum or customize, it will actually create some bottlenecks inside of the gameplay. So for this, I keep it on minimum. That's my preference, but you may have a different preference, of course. Dynamic foveated rendering for this game, I don't believe it has it, so I turn it off, but I could do some testing in the future. Smart smoothing is on. Hidden area mask, need to restart. So smart smoothing, this is to predict tracking data and the video feed of the headset to refresh rate can be improved. So this is on. And then also for the hidden area mask, which is to prevent pixels that are equally not visible due to barrel distortion from rendering, hence improving performance. This is also on. And then the rest is off. For general, I always turn my Pimax Home off simply because I find that having Pimax Home on and Experience Home, it's going to use more battery from the Pimax itself, so it's switched off. Screen off time on never, so the Pimax doesn't think. And then in advanced, I turn off auto lens settings. I put on 35 ppd glass because I don't want the Pimax to think. It's really that simple. Local dimming level, I put it to extreme, although we can turn it off. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start SteamVR. So you start it from here, and I'm going to turn off, not turn off, just minimize the screen. And let me get my controller. Seems that the controllers, they had batteries, so it's a bit strange. They're not. I do need a controller. So what you can do is if your controllers don't have any battery or they don't power up, you just take, let me just zoom out quickly so you can see me. So what you can do is if you have a controller but you don't have any battery, you can just plug it in directly. You don't need to wait until they're, they're charged. So you just plug it in to the USB-C. Oops, wrong one. So it will be up here. Okay. Plug it in here actually. All right, so I'm just plugging in my controller, guys, because apparently the controller batteries are off. So there we go, there's one. So I just need one controller, I don't need two. All right. Gonna bring my Pimax on the other side. So now I'm inside of SteamVR. So let me just actually put my headset on. So I can see Steam. And my controller is here, okay. All right, so I'm just putting my headset on, guys, sorry. Picking up my controller now. It's telling me, okay, my headset is positioned properly. Now it's doing the auto IPD. And then I'm gonna turn on F1. Gonna launch it, there we go. Oh, and I'm gonna show you my SteamVR settings also, just so you know, my super sampling settings. I'm not gonna put any benchmarks on the screen today. All right, so I'm not gonna put the sound on just yet, guys. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to my screen. And guys, do remember to smash the like so more people get to see the stream. And I'm not quite sure if you're going to be able to hear me, to be honest with you, because I'm going to be powering the sound from the computer itself. So let me change the sound to the here. So I'm not going to hear it in my headset because Pimax, unfortunately, Pimax doesn't have the option for me to hear in the headset and hear on the computer. You have that option on the HP Reverb G2, but you don't have the option on the Pimax. So I won't hear the sound from the headpiece. I will only hear it from here. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go and set everything up. You'll see I'm actually going to be using my wheel to navigate through. I'm going to be using my wheel to navigate through everything. So no controllers, no keyboard, no mouse, no nothing. Everything is done on the wheel, and that is frigging cool. Are you ready, guys? Let's do this. All right, so I'm just going back to SteamVR, everyone, because my Pimax. Okay, there we go. Launching the game again, guys. All right.
EA Sports, it's in the game.
All right, so let's go into the settings first. So first, guys, let's go into the graphic settings. So for the graphics, let me just make sure you can see properly. Yeah, you can see, no worries. So for the graphics, basically, if we just go one by one, let me just grab my, okay, never mind. So the gamma is about 105. For the video mode, I'm using the display adapter Nvidia Geforce 480, of course. Resolution 1920 by 1057. Apparently, it's a better way of using than 1080p. Display mode is windowed. Now, the video mode will definitely impact the game, just FYI. So it's very important that you set this up properly. I've done a lot of testing. I've done about 6 hours of testing, just so you know. So these settings are perfect for me. But of course, depending on the machine that you have, it might be different. So just bear that in mind. So anisotropic filtering, I managed to push it to 16x. And it doesn't really create any blurriness for me. It makes things work pretty well, to be honest with you. So I'm very happy with that. Anti-aliasing is at TAA and fidelity FX sharpening. Now there are different options. You can actually use the something's happened. You can actually use the Nvidia DLSS, but I find that the DLSS Nvidia actually creates more noise in the pixels as opposed to sharpening the pixels. So I don't use that one. And then also the other one that you can use is the TAA only. However, I feel that the TAA only it's too sharp. And then I tried to change the softness of the pixels and it just wasn't working for me. So I found that the best setting for me is actually TAA and fidelity FX sharpening. This really gives good crispness and a good sharpness to the pixels whilst also making them soft enough so that there isn't too much noise. So I thought that was very, very interesting. The anti-aliasing sharpness, I managed to set it up to about 57. By default, it's 50, but I found it was too soft because of the fidelity FX sharpening. So I just crank it up a little bit, but not too much, because I found that after 60 or 65, it just becomes too sharp and there's more noise in the pixels rather than having something that is more comfortable. So for me, that's perfect. And then for the dynamic resolution, I turn this on because it enables to basically maintain stable performance. Dynamic resolution reduces the resolution that gamers are internally based on the current performance to ensure fluid gameplay. So I found that with it on, it actually, it makes a difference. I don't think it makes a huge difference, but because it doesn't create more issues in the game, I decided to leave it on. And also I decided to put it as, I decided to make it as aggressive because I want it to work as much as possible, and I want the dynamic resolution minimum scale to be 80. That would be the minimum scale. That means it won't go under that, but of course if it can go above it, it will go and look for these, it will crank up the settings even more. So that's for the video mode. Then if we go to the detail preset, for the lighting quality, I found that it doesn't actually make that much of a big difference, whether it's on low, medium, high, or ultra. So just to be certain, just to be sure, I just leave it on high. But honestly speaking, I found that for lighting quality, it doesn't make that much of a difference. For post-processing, I actually leave it on high. Post-processing, I put it on ultra. I don't know why it was on low there. And then for shadows, I put these on high. I find that, for the post-processing, I put it on high. I find that the differences between high and ultra are very, very, very minimal. So I don't really use ultra that often, to be honest with you. I just don't. For shadows, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. For post-processing, it doesn't really make that much of a difference either. And then for particles, same thing. For the crowd, however, I feel that it does make a little bit of a difference. So I prefer to put it on ultra. For the mirror, I put it on high because I like to see a crisp mirror. Car and helmet, I put it on high also. Although, to be honest with you, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I could put it on medium. But because the difference between medium and ultra are slight, you can see some differences. I like to have a sweet spot and just put it on high instead of ultra. Weather effects, I put it on high. Ground cover, now there is definitely a difference on the ground cover here. So I definitely put the ground cover on ultra. The trees also, there is a difference between high and ultra. So I definitely put it on ultra. Skid marks, I put on high. Skid marks blending, I put it on. For the ambient inclusion, there is definitely a difference between all the various different ambient inclusions. And I found that HBAO Plus is actually the best ambient inclusion for the game. For me, for my setup, so I put it on HBAO Plus. Screen space reflections on high. Asynchronous compute, I put it on so that if there's anything else running in the background, it can do it in parallel. And of course, my machine, by the way, I've turned off everything in my Geforce. I'll show you my Geforce settings in a moment. And I also turned off anything running in the background is turned off. So there's basically nothing running in the background or minimal things running in the background on the computer itself whilst I'm running the game. So do make sure that, I'll do a separate video. So do hit the notification bell after you subscribe. I'll show you the actual behind the scenes stuff that I took off, that I switched off to make sure that my computer can actually run properly without having any bottlenecks of any kind. Texture streaming, definitely an issue, definitely differences there between high and ultra, so I put it on ultra. Variable rate shading, I put it on as well, as VRS optimization actually does make a difference, and it's good to have it if you can run it, because having it off or on doesn't create more issues, so it's good to have it on. High quality hair, I switch that off. I don't care how good the hair is. You know what I mean? Because you don't see the hair in the game, you only see it in the animation. So I just turn it off. Nvidia Reflex, I turn it on because it reduces low latency, and by having it off or on, it doesn't create more bottlenecks. So it's better to have it on than off for me anyway. Chromatic aberration, of course, I want this off. I don't want any light leaking of any of the pixels. So that's basically that. And then let's go into VR settings. So in the VR settings, very minimal things to do here. Enable OSD, I switched this off. I haven't actually researched what OSD means, to be honest. That's the one thing I haven't researched. So I just left it off. It's off by default. It gives you a headset name, which is Pimax Crystal, resolution 3732 by 4420, refresh rate 90 Hertz, override SteamVR scale values. Now, you can override the scaling values here, but I chose not to, because my scaling values inside of SteamVR are actually at 400%. So yeah, so here the scaling values are maximum to 200%. So because I need to go higher, I don't override. Bloom is on. Motion blur is off, of course, because you don't want motion blur in VR, otherwise it will give you some headaches. Stencil mesh is on. It does make a difference to the graphics a little bit, slightly, so I decided to have it on. OSD distance is set to 250, so it's a good setting for me. So that's it, guys. In terms of settings, I don't think I need to really show you any more settings, to be honest with you. So I think we're good. On the assists, I'll just show you my assist settings. I am running at manual, so full manual control. The only assist that I have is for traction control is on full, and for braking is on low. Now the reason why I put it on low is because just in case, because I'm still getting used to the game, I don't want to go into the barrier all the time. So just in case I don't hit the brake the last minute, it will do it for me. But it's only last minute, not main braking. So the main braking is still handled by myself, and the last minute braking, in case I go off, then it will be handled by the machine. So it's on low, so it's a good compromise for me. And I do have the assist in terms of the dynamic racing line is on, because I want to get used to the track. So you'll see that the dynamic lines are on for me. All right, let's see, guys. So let's go back into the game. So I'll switch the volume on now, and you may not hear me anymore. So I will talk, but you may not hear me. So I'm going to put the mic next to the actual speaker. All right, so the game's going to load now. Not sure if you guys can hear me or not. The mic should be able to pick me up. All right, so I'm actually centered inside, you can see here. Let me just, yeah, you can see. So, yeah, I mean, everything is really super sharp. You can also adjust the settings from here, just FYI. There's a little panel. When I click onto it, you should be able to. Alright, so this gives me some details about the track. Alright, I'm going back in VR, there we go. So yeah, so you can see inside here, everything is super crisp, super sharp. I remember when I was trying the RTX4080, and a lot of issues. There are no jagged edges whatsoever. Everything is super sharp, super clear. So I'm just putting the mic on, just giving you some commentary very quickly. So everything is super sharp, super clear. When I tried the RTX 2070, you know, it was jagged edges absolutely everywhere. The difference is night and day with the 480 i7 14th gen compared to the i7 9th gen and the RTX 2070. So yeah, it's, you can see the wheel there. You can read every piece of text. I mean, this headset is absolutely mind-boggling. What I'll do is I'll try to do some through the lens footage, and do hit the notification bell after you subscribe. I'll definitely do another video with through the lens stuff. But it's absolutely amazing. All right, let me just brake, and then I'm going to put the mic. Let me just go on neutral. There we go. So, well, I'll put the mic away in just a moment when I'll start driving. Put it more towards the speaker for you. But yeah, I mean, the crowd, it looks very hyper-realistic. It's really crazy. Really crazy. And you can basically switch, put the button on your controller, on your wheel, and then you can go and access the settings, and you can change them from here. You don't have to log out of the game in order to change the settings, just FYI. So it's really cool that you can do that. There's a tutorial as well that they give you. But I mean, there's no jagged edges. None. Everything is absolutely amazing. And when I use the DLSS, Nvidia's sharpening tool, it doesn't look like this. It looks worse, much worse. There'll be jagged edges, there'll be pixels blinking, you know. But when I use the TAA and fidelity option, that's the best setting I can get. I mean, it's really, really amazing in here. Let me just take off the Pimax. I just want to make sure you can see the screen. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Let me look at the phone to make sure it's showing on the phone. I'm just standing up, so excuse me, guys. Yeah, look at the mirror there. Yeah, I mean, the phone is capturing really well, really, really well, actually. Let me turn off one of the lights. There we go. So it's capturing very, very nicely, the phone, actually. So this is really, really good graphics. All right, so now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go back into the car. I'm going to put the Pimax back on, and then we're going to start driving. We're going to do a couple laps first, just for me to get used to it again, because I haven't played in about 5 hours now. The Pimax is okay, it's comfy. It takes a bit used to, that's for sure. And you can see here, so my wheel is turning. Just need to position the headset a bit better, there we go. And remember, I do have eye tracking switched on, which means that every time I put on the headset, it will automatically track my IPD. So I don't have to redo my IPD every time, so that's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, look at these graphics. They're pretty cool, huh? You can read the tiniest of letters. It's crazy. I've never had such a lifelike experience in VR ever. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I mean, it's just really, really crazy. I mean, even though I could have upgraded my RTX 2070 i7 9th gen in a year or two, I'm still pretty happy that I did it now. To me, it's a really good investment because it's just super, super smooth. All right, guys, I'm going to move the mic now to where the speaker is so you can actually hear the audio properly. So you may need to turn down your audio, by the way, just FYI, and sorry about that. All right, let's do this. All right, so we're going to end the session now. So we're just going to end the session now, and I'm going to do some races where you can see other cars. So yeah, I mean, it's just really incredible how fast it goes. and you have to be really, really, you have to be very, very focused. And also playing without the sound coming from my Pimax, for me is a little tough because I can't play the sound through my Pimax and also through the actual computer, which is weird, as I said. So I'm not quite sure how to fix that. I'm trying to find ways to see if there's a workaround. But on the G2, there's no issue. You can play it both from the Pimax, from your G2, and also the computer. The biggest difference between the G2 and the biggest difference between the G2 and the Pimax is that the pixels at the far over there, the very, very far, where you can see the crane in yellow, even further than that, where the trees are in front of me, it's all pixelated on the G2. But on the Pimax, it's all crystal clear all the way to maybe, this is what, maybe 500 meters away, 400 meters away or something. And it's absolutely clear all the way down. But with the G2, everything is clear around here, up to maybe 100 meters. But then everything at the far, far back over there, especially the crane and all that, that will be pixelated. That will make you feel like your eyesight is something wrong with your eyesight. But actually, it's just because the lenses are built differently. So that's the biggest difference. So the Pimax is definitely the VR Sims, headset for sure, hands down. And also, after you get used to the weight, it goes away. Like for now, I'm fine, I'm okay. But you do need to put in the hours in order for you to get used to the Pimax weight. You will definitely feel the weight the beginning, let's say 500 hours. You may not be used to it, but after 500 hours, maybe, or 300 hours, 350 hours, you'll be used to it, and then you'll be able to play longer and longer and longer as you build your neck muscles. But I don't advise using the Pimax for anything else other than, Sims. So sometimes looking inside of the mirror, like going from here to here, can hurt the neck. So you got to make sure you don't do it too fast, from here to there. So that's also something to take into consideration, okay? But I do have great fun with the G2, don't get me wrong. But it's just that the Pimax nails it in terms of graphics, especially when it comes to Sims. It's just really, it takes it a step, another level, the Pimax, compared to the G2. All right, so I'm gonna exit here now. So let me just press the button. Where's the button? I need to feel it because I can't see it. Where is the button? Okay, let me just press on the button. Here it is. It should be this one. Is it on the other side maybe? Okay, there we go, it changed. Okay, so let me go there. All right, so we're going to end the session, and then we're going to start racing with more cars. All right, end session, okay. I'm going to put the mic down again in just a moment. So you get points every time that you win something. And then it tells you your... I don't actually know how to get the global score, the scoreboard, the global one. I need to find that out because I don't know where my time is. So my best time is 124.226, and then just now we put in 124.907. Okay. All right. So it's loading. It's going back. There we go. Oh, I want some money. Nice. All right, so we're going to go to... Now, I haven't done any of these other tracks, so I'm not going to probably drive as well, just FYI. But I'll do my best. I will do my best. Go back to Europe, which is where I was earlier. I have to be finishing in the top 10. All right, let's do this. I'm going to put my mic away again, guys. Going to put it towards the speakers, so you may have to turn down the volume.
wherever in the world you are very welcome to this F1 World event. We have a brilliant contest ahead. At least it looks like that from the talent involved. "700 metres above sea level, 10 corners and one of the shortest laps of the season. 2.6 miles with some good overtaking opportunities, but you've got to get the braking right into turn 1 and turn 3. So the drivers will be mindful. You've got to be careful of your exit from turn 1 because it will power you all the way up the hill. There are 3 key overtaking opportunities around this classic track. And joining me for this one is Anthony Davidson. And we're still early in the season. How long does it take for a driver to settle into that rhythm?
It's always nice when you start a clean season, a fresh, that clean sheet, and you start to bag points early on, and you have to build on that. So yeah, early on in the season, you're not really thinking about the championship as a whole, but you know that each of those early races is important. Yeah, there's always a lot at stake. But, you know, those early points are so important.
All right, so I'm in the cockpit now, and as you can see, we're on the track. And again, it just feels so hyper-realistic. I mean, it's really crazy. And do remember that I switched off realistic hair, just so you know. So realistic hair is not on, yet it still looks really freaking real. It's a shame that, I mean, this guy's eyes are, it'd be nice if he could blink, because he's not blinking, so it's a bit weird. I think a bit more naturalness, not so stiff, would be nice. Although it's great that they're moving around. Definitely gives a little bit, you know, the motion and the animation. But none of the characters are blinking, which makes them look freaking strange. It's like watching an episode of, I can't remember that show where they had these AIs. Oh, Westworld. Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm inside of Westworld. It really does make me feel like I'm inside of Westworld. So it'd be nice if they could, you know, blink a bit, have a bit more life. But other than that, and also I can see a little defect there. His hand is actually inside of the umbrella. You can tell, right? There's the little defect. So yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a shame that I can't hear the actual crowd. It'd be nice to hear the crowd. Don't really know why I can't hear the crowd. And also there is an option, by the way, in the game where you can change the sound. And for some reason, I think I put the sound inside the helmet, which means that I can only hear things inside my helmet, but I can't hear things outside of the helmet. So let me see if I can change that. Oh, it's going to start.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done. Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. now enabled. DRS enabled. Come on, you can win that place back. Okay, well done. That's 3 clean laps in a row. Beautiful stuff. Keep it going. Well, that goes down as a good day in my book. It was good, clean racing, and you hit the target.
So yeah, so as you could tell, it was really fast. There's absolutely no drops in frames whatsoever. And if they are, they're so minimal, I can't really tell. So running at 120 frames per second is definitely not recommended with the Pimax for this game. I think, unless you have a 490 maybe, but a 480.
The podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
With a 480, 90 frames per second is more than good enough, as you'll be running at 90 frames per second most of the time. I know because I did a benchmark, but the benchmark takes frames per second away, so that's why I don't want to put it on today. Otherwise, they'll actually have some bottlenecks here and there. But yeah, so running at 120 hertz will run more or less at 65 frames per second. but running at 90 hertz will run at 90 frames per second all the time. So yeah, so pretty amazing. You really need a lot of focus. I'll do another 2 races and then we'll stop the stream. So we'll probably do the stream for another good half an hour. And yeah, let's carry on.
And that is us done today. We'll be following these drivers throughout the season. Join us next time for more action.
You can view the highlights. All right, let's advance. All right, Great Britain.
You know the deal. It's F1 World. It's going to be thrilling. It's going to be exciting. You're going to hear a lot of noise from me. Let's get this party started. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. Some of the best turns in motor racing ahead for the drivers. Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, Cops, evocative names everywhere you look. But the first battle is keeping it on the racetrack. There are positions to be gained in the early moments. And joining me once again is former Formula One driver Anthony Davidson, and these drivers are hoping to make a name for themselves. What's going to be the key ingredient for success today?
Well, I mean, you're clearly nervous at this stage, but use that to your advantage. You know, when you're nervous, your adrenaline's up, and that means that your senses are heightened. And with that comes awareness, and that's what you need, particularly at the start of a Grand Prix. Use it to your advantage, get stuck in, but keep your nose clean as well, because you need to keep your car intact, obviously, to keep the best performance going throughout this long Grand Prix today.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So we're in the cockpit again. As you can see now, the lighting has changed. It's much brighter, much brighter than before. Luckily, the Pimax does well, because although I also turned down the gamma is at 105, but originally it was higher than that. But it feels like I have some kind of lens on, like a what do you call it, a ND filter, which you would put on the lens of a camera, so that even if it's really bright, then it feels quite comfortable to look at. I love the textures in the bodies. I mean, you can actually see the hair and the veins on the arm. I mean, it's pretty detailed in terms of the the details on the models. The models are not just a piece of plastic. They really do try to make them look human. You can see the creases in the trousers as well. You can see the walls have got good depth maps in there as well, UV maps with all the various different, you know, textures. It's not just painted, you know, blue and green. So that's what I really like about, you know, this game. They really do put the effort in. And then here again, so yeah, quite a lot of detail. Again, if you just joined the stream, if you want to know all my settings that I use, do go back to beginning of the stream first, and then you can come back. But yeah, pretty amazing. So yeah, let's start.
That start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. Now use DRS. DRS now available. Okay, focus. We need to stay on form. Okay, well done. That's 3 clean laps in a row. Beautiful stuff. Keep it going. I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate. Mate, you're going to get a bad name for yourself if you carry on like that. Let's keep it clean. Come on. Well, we set out looking for that target and you smashed it. And you did it cleanly too. Well done.
So guys, it's getting pretty late. I think I'll do one more set. It's like almost 3 o'clock in the morning for me. So that's why I'm a bit tired. It takes a lot of focus. I'll tell you that, a lot of focus. I don't know how real drivers do it in real life. 40 laps, 60 laps.
Set them apart from the competition today. I'm thorough. Well, it's been a great race. Join us next time for more F1 World action with these talented drivers.
All right, last one, everybody. I've never driven on these. I mean, I've driven on these tracks, but in other sims. All right, let's go to stage 3.
What?
I don't know this track. I don't remember it very well.
Well, hello and welcome to this F1 World event. We have new venues, new drivers, and plenty of excitement guaranteed. Today we go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.3 miles of long straights, fast corners, and huge elevation changes. The Turn 1 hairpin at the source is straight into Eau Rouge, eventually climbing into Raidillon. It is an opening salvo like no other. The drivers lining up on the grid, ready and raring for a classic motor racing challenge. The reputation of the fearsome Spa-Francorchamps speaks for itself. And we're joined once again by Anthony Davidson. And we're still early in the season. Give us your advice for these drivers who are still finding their feet.
Well, yeah, before the start of any campaign, any season in Formula One, you've had that winter break to re-energise. You know, these are long seasons now. Many races are taken through that year. And it does take its toll on you, both mentally and physically. So wintertime's great time to recharge, get the batteries high, to come in and give it your all, because you know you're up against such tough competition. This is the pinnacle of racing, of single-seater racing.
All right, so we're in the cockpit again, and this will be the last race I'm going to do, guys, because I am, as I said, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know this track very well. You can see the camera moving there. Yeah, so I think I just need to do a little bit more tweaking to the graphics for this one. I'm getting a little bit of jittery compared to the other tracks, so it's possible I just need to bring down the super sampling a little bit, maybe by 50 basis points. But other than that, it's still okay. On the previous track, I felt a loss of frames once, but you can see here the camera, for example, I can see it from far away, it's fine. But then when it comes closer towards us, you'll see, I don't know if you notice it on the TV, on the screen, but you'll see a little bit of ghosting. Can you see it? A little bit of ghosting, tiny bit of ghosting there, but not too bad. Yeah, just getting a little bit of jitters here, funny enough. So maybe you need to bring down super sampling a little bit for games like this. But look at these reflections and refractions. They're absolutely stunning, really stunning reflections and refractions in the yellow here. Is just really amazing. Yeah, all right, let's start, guys.
device is now available. Brilliant, nice move, keep going. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap. racing was clean.
All right, guys, there you go. Had a fall there, so never mind. All good. Yeah, pretty intense. Pretty intense. So let me just go back to the camera. All right, let's watch some podium.
Well, they certainly stood out at the drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
So guys, I'm just going to move the camera again. Sorry about that. Give me a moment. Try to be gentle. So again, today has been powered by the RTX480. By the RTX480 here and the i7 14th Gen, which just received yesterday. So for those who didn't see the stream at the beginning, there you go. This is the new machine. And this is the old one here, which is the RTX 2070 with the i7 9th Gen. And then I was using the Next Level Racing Stand 2.0, which is really cool. And they also sent me the chair, but I passed it to my wife. So I have another chair. I sold my Secret Labs chair, which is the most uncomfortable chair in the world. And I got this chair from the office. So thanks to my boss who gave it to me. So, yeah, so very cool. And then using also the Geforce, TrueForce, excuse me, Logitech G923 wheel with the pedals, of course, down there. And I was playing at automatic for the gears. So this was not, this was not automatic. It was manual, sorry. I was playing on manual, not automatic, sorry, excuse me. So yeah, I was playing on manual. All right, I'm going to change the camera again. There we go. And then just put the camera here. And voila. Whew. Gosh. Tell you, what time is it here in Singapore? 2:30 in the morning. Whew. 2:30 in the morning. So guys, this for Sims, especially this game, I know it's $1,600, but honestly, it's very good. Simply because the difference between this one and the G2 is great for PC VR everything. Like the G2 is an all-in-one PC VR headset for everything. Because it's light and it's not going to hurt your face, your head, or your neck muscles or things. So it's not dangerous. And I wish that the Pimax becomes smaller, right? But the great thing with the Pimax is all-in-one, so you don't need the base stations and all this kind of stuff. I know that you can buy the Beyond by big screen, but you need special controllers, you need special everything, so it can come to the same or more expensive. I like you don't need base stations for this. The only thing I don't like about the Pimax is you need batteries. So, but they do last 6 to 8 hours. And to charge, this very fast actually. The charging is about an hour, less than an hour for the charging. So that's pretty good. I will do a full review of the Pimax. I've used it now for close to 700 hours, I would say. So getting there. And when I reach about 1,000, 1,500 hours, I'll give my full review. I just want to give headsets good amount of time before I tell people whether they should buy it or not. But I'm telling you now that for the clarity from things that are further away, The Pimax is just amazing. It's just a freaking amazing beast. It's heavy for a reason, I guess. But yeah, but guys, let me check the chat now that I can go back to the computer. Let me just check the chat, everybody, see if there's any comments there. I just want to say hello to some of you. Okay, there we go. Let me get rid of this. Hi, Sean Lender, out of focus. Okay, hopefully it wasn't out of focus for too long though. Hope it was okay. Okay, all right. Well, guys, if you don't have any questions or anything, thank you very much for watching today's video. Really, really appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up so more people get to discover today's video. And yeah, hit the notification bell for future videos also so you're notified before everyone else. Take it easy, guys. I will see you in another video very, very soon. Go to the playlist. Tons of other videos over there. All right. Bye for now, guys. Bye, 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 bye.